Hey everybody, Cash here. Gonna be doing shorter video today. I have a lot going on this weekend, um, so this is gonna be a quicker one because I have to leave soon. But so I'm gonna do a video about team building. Um, Obviously I hang around in the chat a lot. I'm on Discord all the time. I see lots of people ask questions, like even in like YouTube comments. Um, what should I be using? I don't know what's like good or bad, this and that. So I'm just gonna like do a short video today about 1v1 team building, how I do it, what my approach is, and I guess most importantly, like the resources that you have. Right. So you can see we're in full screen because there's a lot of things to show. So first things first, you open your team builder up. You go into 1v1 here, and you add Pokemon. So what I like to do first is I pick whatever I want off this list, right? You can pick whatever you want to start with. Here's a good way to, if you want to see what's good, and what would be a strong starting Pokemon, what you can do. So this is the 1v1 room. I just cleared the chat. But when you go in the 1v1 room, or you do /topic, or you can also do /room intro if you want to type more, it gives you, you're going to get this, right? So if you're new to 1v1, you can read this. If you want to play tournaments, however, the two tabs I'm going to be talking about are team building and resources. Resources isn't as helpful for this. There's like the discussion thread, which is like talking about the meta. The team bazaars, you can, if you just want to use somebody else's team. But what's most important is this team building tab. So things we have in here, VR. So this is the viability rankings, right? Basically how this works, most people probably already know this, but the best mons get S tier rank, and then it just goes down the list all the way down to untested, right? People comment here, they can say whatever they want to move, and then the council, which is basically like a bunch of staff and stuff, they will vote and decide. So the first thing you can do is you just can pick any mon off this list, basically, right? So the S tier mons, the ones that you see commonly all the time, both Mega Charizards, D-Knight, Gyarados, whatever. So you can pick whatever you want off this list. Literally anything you want. Alright, whatever mon you like, whatever type you like, does not matter. Pick anything. You can scroll all the way down here and like D tier, C minus tier. You can be like, you know what, I want to build my team around Relicanth. Alright, not super common, but you could. And you can even pick something that's not on here. Right, you can pick whatever you want. So first things first, you pick a mon off this. So I'm just gonna randomly choose. All right, what do I want here? Let's build today with still a mon that's cool but pretty underused, right? So I'll say I want to build a team. We'll do Lycanroc. All right, so I'll come in here. I'll type Lycanroc in. Lycanroc. Cool. Nice wolf. Big fan. Oh, blue. I kind of like the blue one. My high school was the wolf pack, and we were blue and white, so I feel like this is a good pick for me. All right, so I got this. I'm like, all right, cool. So I started off with Lycanroc. Now I think to myself, what moves do I run, right? What item do I have? How do I even figure that out? So, and the same thing here, they have the sets viability ranking. Basically, it's the exact same type of deal. It's going to go over most of the mons in the same order that they're in. So like you can see it's going in order of this, right? So there's Charizard, Dragonite, Gyarados, Magearna, and then they have all their sets right here. Right, so here's Charizard. Offensive X, that's got an S plus rank, which means that one's pretty good. These are all good because these ones are obviously great. Down here, we got Z Outrage Dragonite is the best one at S. And these are, you know, subjective. So people voted on these. So there's no way that you can be like, for sure. It's like, oh yeah, I want to use Greninja. Obviously, you've got a lot of choices. And you can see which sets have been successful for people, and then, you know, which sets might not be as good. Not to say that they're unusable or even bad, but this might not be as good. So I don't know if Lycanroc has one of these. It probably does. I think every mon does. Just gonna scroll all the way down. All right, I'm looking. What do I want? What do I want to use? Here we go. Lycanroc. Splintered, Storm Shards. So okay, so that's the Z move set, right? So I type in Lycanum Z. Cool. So I have this, and that makes Stone Edge. So obviously I want to use Stone Edge. But now I'm like, all right, what other moves do I want to run? Like, I don't know. I'm new to this. I don't know what's good and bad. Perfect. So, Movesets. This is my most used page. I am on this every single day. Right? Every single day. All this is a giant poke paste. I'm pretty sure Mace put this together. So, shout out to Mace. It's got, yeah, there we go. Right? It's got not every set, but a ton of sets on here. All different things. You know, there's just whatever Charizard with this, and your Will-O-Wisp Charizard, your, you know, like, there's Belly Drum, Flame Charge, whatever you want here, Belly Drum. Right? So you can just do Control F on your computer. I type Lycanroc in, and here are the Lycanroc set that are on here. So basically, someone submitted all these, like, you know, people just put their sets in, and Mace compiled them all. So, like, okay, so this is the one I want. So what I normally do is I'll just straight up copy, paste that in. Right? So that gives me all the moves I need to run. That gives me the EV sets. Right? But I don't know what these do. I just copied them. So I'm not really sure exactly, you know, what all of these do or what these are for. But I always start off with this because somebody figured this out. Somebody put these here for a reason. I don't know who it was, but somebody did, right? Somebody wanted this to be defensive and, you know, have speed and stuff. But say you want to do this on your own, right? You could just play with it. And so I'll bring this on ladder and say, like, I barely miss out on killing something, or something kills me. I'm like, I want to live that move next time. You just open up the calc, which you just do /calc, right? And then you type that in the chat, and then you click this link. You just go on the calc, you can type everything in. Speed is the easiest one, because that's our last thing on here. Speed tiers. So how that works is this number. So right now, I am 176 plus, so that's jolly, obviously. That gives me 330 speed. So if you click on speed tier tab, it starts to show you all of the tiers of all of the mons that people use in 1v1. There's a key up here, so it can show you, like, if you're confused on what any of it means, you can read through this. It will tell you what to do. But alright, so that gives me 330. So I can come all the way down here, right, and see what 330 outspeed. So it gets outspeeding Zapdos, Megachan, Volcarona, and then you can see what things it like doesn't outspeed. It doesn't outspeed. So like Pinsir's up here, Naganadel, Greninja's here. So say like you're like, oh, you know, I really want this to outspeed Mega Pinsir, so I need definitely more speed, right? Then what you could do is like lower this, you add the speed on until you're above. So you're like, all right, Mega Pinsir's 339, so I want to hit 340. So you just move this up until you're 341. All right, and now you're like, okay, so now I know that my Lycanroc, if I come across Mega Pinsir, I'm just faster than it, and I'll just kill it in one shot. Right? So that's basically how that works. So now that you have you're like, all right, cool. So I did it. I picked my first mon, but that's the easy part. How do I figure out what teammates are good? So that part's a little bit more complicated, but I have a general rule I like to follow. That I look first for like triple typing, right? So you've got the typical Firemon, Watermon, grass mon. That's the most common core, fire, water, grass. And the reason this is because they cover each other's weaknesses, right? So I have a fire mon, it's weak to water. So I have a grass mon on my team to beat the water types. All right, I have a water mon, it's weak to grass. So I have a fire type to beat grass. And then I have a grass mon, which is weak to fire. So I have a water type to beat fire. So you see what I mean? It gives you good matchups versus whatever you're playing against. And there are a few of these type triangles in the game. You can think about them. I think about them all the time. I'm always looking for new ones because I like to use the type triangles because it gives you, in general, better matchups because you'll always have an answer for your mon's weaknesses. I shouldn't say always, but more than likely, right? So rock is an interesting type. It's good because, as you can see from, the viability rankings, some of these strongest mons, the Charizards, Dragonite, they're both weak to rock types. So you have rock types that are good versus these strong things. And normally how this works is these mons are kind of more popular because people know that they're better. So I've got, so cool. So I've got answers for fire types, I've got answers for flying types. So then I look now for my 3 things. So one that I know with rock is, right, so rock beats flying, and then flying beats fighting, and then fighting beats rock. So that gives me the triple type across. I'm not actually going to use these mons, but there's placeholders for now. Right, so this gives me the triple typing across. Perfect. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I have all my typings that I want. Now I can see what's going on. But what you also need to look at, which is why this gets complicated, is you basically want to have an answer for all of these. I would say everything from B plus above, your team should have at least one thing that beats it. Right? You don't want to get 3-0'd, meaning that, like, I have a team that's every single thing is weak to Mega Slowbro. So I'm like, okay, well, I automatically lose if I see Mega Slowbro. That's obviously not good. But at the same time, don't kill yourself trying to find a team that doesn't lose to anything. I see so many people, they build a team and they're like, oh, you know what? My team actually has a really bad matchup versus Scolipede. So I need to change this. Like, let's be real. How many Scolipedes do you see? Because I play a lot and I see 0. Right? The same thing, like, oh yeah, I get 3-0 by Mega Scizor. I've seen 2 Mega Scizors in the last 3 months. Alright? So don't kill yourself being like, I can't beat some of these really bad like, not bad, but underused mons. Alright, like, oh, my team gets 3-0'd by I don't even know. Things that are way down here. My team gets 3-0'd by Breloom. Like, that's okay. That's gonna be okay. You're gonna have things that you just can't beat. Right? But as long as those mons aren't like, oh yeah, my team just can't beat Mega Gyarados. Obviously that's a problem because you're gonna see Mega Gyarados probably 1 in 5 games. So you need to be able to beat these common things. That's why I say probably like B plus and above. Needs to be 100% you have answers for them. And even these you should try to find answers for. It's when stuff starts getting really uncommon that it's like okay to not have answers. But when you're first starting out building on your own, it's going to be a little bit harder for you because there's a lot to think about. So just focus on these top things first. So you look at your first mon, right? I look at my very first mon, I'm like, alright, I have Lycanroc. It beats Charizard, it beats Dragonite, it loses to Gyarados, it loses to Magearna, it loses to Tapu Lele, it loses to Greninja. Alright, so I'm looking for, like, what do these things have in common that they're not really good against? Alright, so, like, you can just look at some of these things. Okay, I could use a fighting type on this team, right? fighting type is good against this because it's dark. Fighting type is good against this because it's dark. It's good against this because it's normal. Alright, it could be good versus this because it's steel type. You know, it has, I'm looking for, you know, things that I can't beat. Like, I can't beat Como, but, like, a flying type could beat that. Right, like, I can't beat Aegislash. But Aegislash is going to be really hard for this team. So, now I'm like, okay, so I need a fighting type. So the easiest way to look at that is I just straight up, I'll type fighting in my team builder. I look at all these fighting types. I'm like, okay, cool, got fighting types everywhere. What do I want to use? What do I know that I can't beat? You know, what am I weak against? I can't beat Mega Gyarados. I can't beat Greninja. I can't beat all these things. So let's put a fighting type on the team that can give me a better answer versus some of that stuff. So then you just go down and you pick whatever fighting type you want, right? So for this example, we can just pick Sock. Sock's got sturdy ability, so it beats Greninja. You know, it's pretty strong in general. The sturdy really helps it beat a lot of different things. So I'm like, okay, so Sock gives me, you know, I can do Z fighting. I can beat Magearna. I can beat Porygon Z now. You know, maybe I still can't beat Tapu Lele. I could probably beat Magnezone because I can use Rock Tomb to slow it down. You know, things I can't beat and can beat. You keep looking through the list, and then you're like, okay, now I have flying types. You know, Landorus might be a good flying type for this, right? Because right now, I'm like, okay, I have a hard time versus like Aegislash. You know, I don't know if I don't have a good matchup versus Metagross because it has Bullet Punch and like this and that. And then you'd be like, okay, so let me use Landorus. Okay, so this team could just be straight up bad, right? The more mons you use that are higher up here, probably the easier time you're going to have. Because when you have Dragonite on your team, it just starts beating all of these things on its own. So then when you use your other mons, you can be like, oh, I want to use this. Like, I could even use this, right? I need a flying type on my team. So maybe instead of using Landorus, I'm just going to use Dragonite. Cool. And then, you know, Dragonite beats a lot of these things. Be like, okay, cool. I have Dragonite now. So, you know, Dragonite can beat a lot of these on its own. And, well, you know, whatever you want, Dragonite beats. You could use, like, Z Ground Dragonite. Like, Z Earthquake. So, like, okay, cool. I beat this now. You beat this. Right? And all I do is I go into these sets. I find whatever. Dragonite. And then I'll be like, which one of these sets do I want to use? Even if it's a set that's not in here, you can start with these, or you could ask in chat. You know, you can ask on my videos, you can ask on like anyone's videos, you like Elove, if you had questions, or whoever, and they'll be able to probably answer them for you. I'll always help you out if you have a team building question and you want to post it in the comments. I'll definitely help you. I build all the time. I built for the Premier League. I built for myself. I've built for team tours. I consider myself a pretty good team builder, and I like to use some interesting stuff, some things that throw people off guard, which I think is a good aspect. Yeah, so then you look through it. All right, so now I have like my triple typing across here, but then you would just look for things that you like can't beat. You're like, okay, I am not very good strong versus like Whimsicott, so maybe I'll give this Poison Jab, right? And you're like, okay, Poison Jab, that'll be good. And then I can use Close Combat because that's like a good move. Maybe I want to be Choice Band because I want to hit things harder, right? And the whole time you're looking at this list, going down it, being like, all right, what moves could I run to beat some of these things? You know, like, oh no, I'm really weak versus Zygarde. Maybe I need to make sure that I have a dragon move on my Dragonite to beat Zygarde with, like things like that. And then you just test it. Like, trust me, out of all the teams I have teams that are just straight up bad. And sometimes you'll play it and you just won't be able to win games and you'll see things that just beat you. So, you know, you take whatever team you want on the ladder, you just can't beat what you see. And you're like, okay, I got to go back into my team builder and try to fix this, right? So say I ran like say I wanted to run, say I was like, all right, I'm gonna use poison jab, I'm gonna use close combat, I'm gonna use thunder punch, I'm gonna use zen headbutt, and then you keep playing against Magnezone, right? And you just can't win because it keeps slowing you down and then killing you the next turn. You're like, wow, my team's so weak to Magnezone. How can I change it to be better, right? And I'm like, okay, so maybe I don't need Thunder Punch, and instead I could use Rock Tomb, because now I'll use Rock Tomb on the Magnezone, and then I'll slow it down before it slows me down. So the next turn I'll just kill it with close combat, right? So those are some changes you can make pretty easily, and it takes time. You're not going to be able to just build amazing teams right away, but I recommend everyone take the time to learn, at least slightly, try to figure out why teams are good. And trust me, the teams I have that are good in this list, I have poured time into them, absolutely poured time into them, where I've just tested them over and over. Like, if you can ask anybody on my Heatran team or anyone that I've been friends with, I play every single team to 1600. If I can't get my team to 1600, then I'm gonna keep changing it until I think that it's good enough to consistently play up to 1600, right? And you'll be like, oh, Cash, there's no way you took your Buffalon team to 1600. No, I did. Any team that is in this builder that I didn't delete has made it to 1600, right? Unless they say untested, which means I haven't done them yet. But all of these, this 1600, this 1600, this 1600. Haven't tested this yet, still has the test in the name. This 1600, 1600, 1600. And then these are teams people gave me or I've made videos with. All right, this is still in test mode. So what happens is if they don't work, I delete them. Or if they're just average, like I have a really hard time, this one's got in the name. I have ones that just say bad on them, I'm pretty sure somewhere. This one's just bad because I think I made it, but I had a really bad time, and Mega Gardevoir is just really hard to play against if it has the right moves. All right, and for some people you're gonna be like, Cash, I can't play to 1600. I'm not that good yet. That's okay. Set a goal for yourself, right? Whatever your goal is, even if you can only get to 1300, right? And even 1300 is hard for you. Be like, all right, I'm gonna build this team and I'm gonna play until I'm at 1300, because then I know that this team is good enough to get me there. All right, and then you keep pushing yourself on the ladder, and just see how high you can get, and you keep changing your team the whole time. The worst mistake you can make when you play on this ladder is I bring this team and I find something that I can't beat, right? I play against whatever and it just beats all of these, and I don't change this, and I just keep playing, and I hit that same guy over and over, and he just beats me every single time, and I'm like, well, there's nothing I can do, my team loses. No, there is something you can do. You can change teams, you can change your team that you're using, right? So you need to kind of adapt. So I recommend everyone, if you're watching this, go out, build a team. If you want advice, post. You can go on PokePaste, which is literally just called PokePaste. It's this website. See. So if you just type it in, it's PokePaste. You're gonna get this blank page, and then you can copy and paste your team in here. Send me the PokePaste link if you want, and be like, hey, Cash, I built this. Can you look at it for me? And I'll look at it for you if you want. I can give you advice. See if your team's good or not. I can even test your teams if you want to. I would do something like that, where if you want to put teams in, I'll make a video where I'm testing people's teams. I can talk about them. That'd probably be pretty fun. So hopefully this helps everyone try to build their own teams. I'm gonna make a more advanced video that will be going up this weekend or tomorrow probably, about how do I build teams for tour setting. That's a little bit different and a lot more work. But so everyone go out, try to build a team, have fun with it. Most importantly, try to use mons that you like, right? A lot of people are like, oh no, I'm just gonna use the best team, right? Some people, let's see. This is one of the first teams I ever got. Synonymous gave it to me so I could relearn the tier. This is a super good team. Do I like any of these Pokemon? No, not really. But this team is very competitive and very good. But then, you know, I want to use mons that I like to use, right? This is one of my favorite teams. Triple Turtle team. It's not great, but I like it. And I'm going to use what mons that I like. So that's the most important thing. Is build with mons that you like. There are a lot, as you can see, a lot of viable things. So pick one off this list, build a team, have fun with it. Good luck on ladder, everybody. If you need any advice, you know, feel free to reach out. You can also message me on Showdown. I'm normally on my Cash account, or something with Cash in the name. So cool. So I hope everyone enjoyed. I hope that was at least a little helpful, a little educational, and I will see you guys tomorrow with more detailed about how to build for tours. So good luck building, everyone. Later.